This video, and others that follow, will explain how to configure the AirLogix Control System using the Setup menu. Let's begin by pressing the Navigate button. Then, Setup. Because there are 15 screens in the Setup menu, we will cover this topic in several smaller videos. Pressing the Setup key, you will see the 15 menu items. We'll start with Control System Configuration. AirLogix can be applied to any brand of centrifugal compressor, many of them having unique properties and requirements, and, because we can use a number of different retrofit approaches, it is important to complete this section thoroughly. The default selection is AirLogix. If you are installing a new AirLogix system in its factory enclosure, this would be the appropriate pick. Clicking here, you see the option changes to Ingersoll Rand MP3. AirLogix can be installed with an MP3 retrofit kit that allows the AirLogix to be quickly installed in the existing MP3 enclosure, using the OEM factory wiring harness to make the field connections. If this is what you are doing, it is important to make this selection, because logic changes take place that address unique properties of the MP3 system, such as preloop pump wiring. The same thing applies to our retrofit design to replace the IRCMC. Likewise, with a Cooper, Quad 2000, or Quad 3. The next selection is for inlet valve control. Most compressors have analog inlet valve actuators. But some Cooper, Cameron, and now Ingersoll Rand machines have a motor-driven inlet valve actuator that uses a digital interface to the valve actuator. If your compressor uses this type of inlet valve actuator, you would select DCAV, which stands for Digitally Controlled Analog Valve. This selection causes the AirLogix system to use the appropriate logic to control the valve through digital outputs, instead of an analog output. The same two options apply to the bypass valve, with one more possibility. Some Cooper Cameron compressors utilize a two-way valve that is either open or closed. If this is your valve type, then select the option for discrete. Next is the bypass position reference. By default, AirLogix references the inlet valve as 100% open, and the bypass valve as 100% closed. This is because this is the normal running state of a centrifugal compressor. If your preference, or your plant practice, is to reference all valves as 100% open, you can change the bypass valve reference here. This is where you select the brand of compressor being controlled. Your options are Ingersoll Rand Centac, Joy Cooper, Worthington, Atlas Copco, FS Elliott, Clark Isopac, Elliott, Solaire, and Hanwha. The next field changes your stage reference. In other words, second stage air temperature on a Centac is measured after the second stage. On a Cooper Cameron machine, it is measured prior to the second stage. This field simply changes the stage reference on the panel view display for all interstage temperature and pressure measurements to match your machine. The ID name field allows you to name the compressor to something you are familiar with. This will control the way this compressor appears on its panel view, case controls Air Master, Air View, and on air support reporting. Clicking this field brings up an on-screen keyboard. I'll change the name to AC176. Here's where you enter the number of compression stages for this machine, and the design capacity for flow and pressure. In the next two fields, we'll enter the maximum and minimum allowable entry values for a pressure set point. And in the last three fields, we'll enter the motor nameplate FLA, motor voltage, and horsepower for this compressor. Now, if you'll remember, in the beginning of this video, there were 15 menus in the setup section of AirLogix. You can select the next item, Discrete Input Configuration, in one of two ways. By returning to the main menu, or by clicking the next screen arrow, here. This concludes the lesson on how to configure the AirLogix Control System submenu. We'll cover I/O configuration in the next video. Be sure to watch the rest of this series. Click like on this video, and follow our channel, so you'll receive notification when new videos are posted. And thanks for watching.